Sometimes solving a problem is all about taking a step back and looking at it from a different perspective. Sometimes a different perspective can be obtained from a past experience that seemingly has got nothing to do with the problem at hand. It took Vincent Arrow a couple of years, a title of doctor in pharmacology and a background in diving to solve a 300 years old problem. This is not only the first ever compact mechanical pulsometer asthmometer, but a pretty handsome watch too. This is Medeor Pulsograph. It's not uncommon for professional divers to become microbrand owners. It's not uncommon for doctors and pharmacists to become microbrand owners. It's therefore natural that Vincent's professional background and love for watches would lead to him setting up Medeor 2 years ago in Toulouse, France. At the moment of publishing this review, Pulsograph is the only available model on their shop, and I will leave a link to the website in the description of the video. At first glance, the Pulsograph is an interesting amalgamation of the 1953 first ever Rolex Submariner and the Explorer dialed 6200 sub released a decade later. The skin diver character of this watch is enhanced by its Goldilocks proportions, and the understated case serves to provide a pedestal for the imposing coin-etched bezel topped by an unusually warm boxed sapphire crystal. The crown is perfectly proportioned and its integration is precise. The bezel provides useful information and looks pretty doing it, and its width is perfect for displaying lots of data without looking cluttered. It is split in two by a triangle and a dot separators, and while the grey half hosts the rather familiar pulsograph markers, the asthmometer's gradations on the black bezel half are something I haven't seen before. Both complications run on the same principle though, timing a set number of 15 heartbeats or 4 breaths and using the gradations on respective halves of the bezel to calculate heart BPM and breaths per minute. If, for example, it takes 11 seconds for my heart to beat 15 times, then my heart rate is 80, while if it takes 5 seconds to count 4 breaths, I'm obviously panting. Now, the pulsometer is, together with the tachymeter, one of the most common scales printed on chronographs, and that's because in order to be efficient, this access to this scale should be controlled. Having such a scale printed on a classic three-hander means one would need to wait between 1 and 59 seconds before being able to use it to accurately extrapolate counted heartbeats. Medeor's walkaround is so simple it begs the question why it hasn't previously been used. A 60-click bidirectional bezel. Almost as fast as a chronograph, using this simple trick dramatically reduces the time needed to use either of the two complications, but the real innovation here is that you can actually use them both simultaneously. Because why the hell not? I have a friend that hates seconds hands that don't have a counterbalance. Well, I guess he will love this watch. In a market that's getting inundated with paper tigers that embody the form over function trope, the double seconds hand of the Medeor watch is not a gimmick but an added function feature that just happens to look incredibly cool. Finally, the vintage dial is perfectly complemented by the size and fonts of the 4 lines of text, and the crystal generates crazy distortions of the sharp-looking minute track. Before moving on to the fastening hardware, it should also be noted there are 2 other variants available, a blue and grey bezel black and a white dialed watch with a grey and burgundy bezel. Bezels, exhibition case backs, straps and bracelets are available in the shop. While the FlexiPro Velcro nylon strap does complement the vintage character of the watch, I am not a fan of the Velcro fuzz showing, so I would have appreciated a longer strap. The bracelet, meanwhile, is something I've never seen before, as it provides an amazingly functional way of connecting the links, making sizing it up as easy as taking it off. In isolation, the bracelet is a big winner, but I'm not sure it fits the watch. On one hand, it's too modern, and on the other hand, its revolutionary construction means it lacks the taper this type of links would have benefited from. Still something truly interesting and innovative worth mentioning. As both its vintage vibes and the tool watch characteristics mandate, the focus of the Pulsograph is its dial. As a consequence, the finish of the case is rather understated, with satin brushing interrupted only by a couple of thin polished chamfers. The signed crown's action is smooth and precise, as are the 60 clicks of the bidirectional bezel. Unfortunately, although there is no backplay in either direction, the bezel suffers from considerable lateral movement that's actually even audible. This is my only criticism, and it casts an undeserved shadow on the quality of the bezel insert fit and finish, especially as its dual character is underlined by the two types of finish. The dial is consistent, the hands, markers and paint job are crisp, while the sapphire crystal has a mineral-like warmth and a perfect cut. No complaints about the quality of the bracelet fit and finish, but I would have expected more sophistication at the price point. This is where the Pulsograph really excels, starting with its La Jouperet G101 caliber regulated in Bordeaux to plus/minus 7 seconds a day. It runs at 4 Hz, it's got an impressive 68 hours of power reserve, a rotor made of tungsten, and it's widely regarded as one of the best new calibers on the market, powering watches from premium independent companies like Anordan, Strom, Furlan-Marie or Farrer. As for the lume, there was only one option to match the vintage character of this watch, Superluminova's old radium. Even if the treated surfaces are not really generous, the application of the Swiss compound is more than adequate, as it's plain to see. What's much more than adequate, exceptional I might say, is the application of anti-reflective compound on the inner side of the tall sapphire crystal. A special mention also for the dual insert of the bezel, seamlessly combining tungsten and ceramic. As previously stated, for all its great innovative construction, I don't believe the style of this bracelet matches the Pulsograph. Luckily, this watch is a true strap monster that can handle any strap thrown at it, from the beautiful Vario tan German leather to the Wise FKM, be it on black or on grey. On my 19cm wrist, the watch wears true to size and is as versatile as any vintage-inspired diver, with a bonus of a classy bezel color combo, and legibility is also great. At $1,250, the Pulsograph is by no means an affordable watch for the run-of-the-mill watch enthusiast, which means it will cater to two categories: the affluent watch collectors and the professionals. It therefore needs to tick at least 2 boxes: an original functional design and great materials finished to a high standard. In my opinion, this watch is one great bracelet away from fully justifying its price tag, but I'm sure those that will appreciate it and or need the unique design will be forgiving, especially when the watch can be so well complemented by a quality aftermarket strap. Thank you for watching yet another review of a rather obscure microbrand watch. This is what I do on this channel, so if originality and uniqueness is what you're fond of, subscribing will give you the chance to experience more of it. You can watch all the watches I reviewed so far this year by clicking on this playlist. Stay tuned, and I promise I'll do my best to find the watch you want.